offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And really, it looked at times like they just had this one in cruise control out there.
Yeah, they deserve a ton of credit because you and I both know, heck, they knew. But this is a tough place to play. Overcame that with ease, romped home with an easy win. And here's the best part for them. It'd be easy to get to the airport because the crowd left pretty early in this one, didn't it?
Well, plus they have a police escort.
Okay, you had to spoil that part of it. Of course, they're going to get there. But think about how wide open things are now because this crowd didn't expect this.
No.
So they went back to the tailgate and said, let's go eat. This one didn't any fun for us.
Yeah, they took the drama out of this one pretty early on. this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a one-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to...
It's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held
in the fourth quarter. That tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
Here's Williams from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Off play action. Williams. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
I know that play went for no yardage, all right? But I like the attempt because the fullback position, whether it's a fullback, a tight end, an H-back, wherever you want in that spot, not known as a primary pass catcher. So sometimes the element of surprise works in your favor. But on that play, give credit to the defensive guys.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, got to carry the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Williams. Right side caught by Jackson. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 27-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Williams on 1st down. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll decide to keep this once more, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
It's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. Touchdown, Panthers. Christian McCaffrey. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Panthers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. So it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages, as a field goal now can only tie it. Now after the touchdown, here's Pinheiro to kick it off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the Browns down on the scoreboard. A minute 24 to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Into the hands of Cooper. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
All right, let's just put it on the table real quick here. This is 2-minute drill. You got to know they're looking for their number 1 receiver.
Yeah, you think they'd be ready for that? That time they weren't. And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. They'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Oh, I know it goes against the grain here. It totally goes against it, but you've got to drop the ball in that situation. He makes the catch, but he loses yards and doesn't get out of bounds.
Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. He's back to throw. Finding Hunt. And that could be a killer. He'll lose yardage and tackled inbounds. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. A lot of pressure here for Cade York. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Panthers going to get the football first here in overtime as the kick is away. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback.
Carolina getting set to take the field.
Charles, you think back to halftime, they had the big lead. They were in control of this game. They lost that lead. But ultimately right now, with the ball in overtime, a chance to win this thing.
And you know each guy's telling his teammate, just let it go. Don't worry about it. We're starting fresh right here. What happened before does not matter. What happens right now and going forward.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
2nd and 10.
Off the play fake. Williams sliding out of the pocket. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Hoping to keep this OT drive alive. Now they face a 3rd and 2.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Gotta punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially for a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's Johnny Hecker now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. This will be fielded at the 17.
13 yards the tally on the return there.
And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
Cleveland offense making their way out. But their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal and they get the victory.
Yeah, this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. Well, we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That'll give him 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
2nd and 2. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
He's got Njoku over the middle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2nd and 4.
A give running right is Chubb, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
They run it again with Chubb. And nothing much.
I think doubling him has a real priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw.
And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Well, the entire game coming down to this kick from Cade York.
This to win it in overtime. And the defense is going to let him think about it a little as they use their 2nd timeout here. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. And that is no good. And we will play on here in overtime.
Oh, that's so deflating, Brandon, because you know he was thinking to himself, just give me a shot. Just put us in a position to win the game, and I'll get it done. With this kick, not on target, and we'll keep going here.
The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. Throwing to start the drive. Williams. Thomas. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. And a costly mistake. Coaches talk so much about ball security, and in overtime, so paramount.
Partner, do you ever wonder if maybe they talk about it too much?
Too much, yeah.
Doesn't seem like you can, but maybe by discussing it time and time again, and you know they overemphasized it here, it almost became self-fulfilling.
And any points beat them here. Field goal or a touchdown now. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his receiver, Cooper.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Time situation. Charles, a very simple mission anytime that you play on your home turf, and that is to defend your home turf, and today that mission was accomplished.
Look, every offseason, every preseason, the head coach goes in front of the team and says, the mission for the season, defend our home field every time, split on the road, and we'll be in the playoffs. That's why defending the home field is vital.